This is Scott Donaldson here. This is James Logan, my neighbor, my patient. Okay, now let's set some groundworks in this video we're going to do because this is going to be about race, right? So you've dealt with race issues in the past.
All my life.
How come?
Born and raised in white Anglo-Saxon Protestant upstate New York. 70 miles north of New York City.
Makes you an expert on all things black.
Traveled, worked hard, black only, or in a huge white population, in a white world, black man in a white world. From the time I was a little boy growing up, school, straight through college, even into work, even in hospital work.
So, I was thinking about this little thing we're doing. And I like to think myself as a pretty broad, you're allowed to ask me questions in this too. Agitating questions. All right?
Mm-hmm.
So, the one ground rule is we can't get agitated during this.
What?
You heard me.
Hi. My white friend.
How many white friends you got? Two?
Dr. Rose down in Vero Beach, and you.
Has he been to your house?
No, as a matter of not, he hasn't.
I've been to your house.
That makes you my number one friend. See, that's a prerequisite to me if you want to know the truth.
What's that?
Come to my home, eat with me, sit and talk to me, socialize.
How many white people come to see been to your house?
This house?
Any house.
Count on both
Don't
hands.
count on the one you're married to. She doesn't count.
Oh, she doesn't count? In both hands? 10 at the most.
10 at the most.
In all my life, yep.
I was thinking about that too, because I think of myself as a pretty broad understanding of the race issue in this country. And I think I've got two black folks on my cell phone. And I go to a black church about every Wednesday and have
Free
lunch,
food.
free food. I pay for my free food.
Cheap.
I'm a member of the NAACP.
Wow.
But that was started by white people. That's why I joined that. People don't know that.
The guilt-ridden white people.
No, they believed in something.
Okay, I'm just...
It was a long time ago. I mean, they were, a little white guilt in there, but they believed in something. And they started it many years ago.
Do they have any strength?
What's that?
Can they get anything done around here?
NAACP?
Yeah. No.
Do any of us get anything done?
Well, let's hope they start, because we're going to have a war.
What do you mean? Why do you say that?
I think it's getting to the point. The social media verbalization is going to get us, and politicizing, is getting us to a fever pitch where we're going to start shooting each other. Access to guns, the incredible, intense verbalization by politicians
At the highest levels.
at the highest level. You got a man running for president who is incendiary, who's actually using race as a way of getting elected.
But he's not talking about the black man. He's never said anything about the black man.
And he did. He told the president of the United States he wasn't a citizen. That's how he got so popular.
Do you think this president's starting a race war?
Absolutely not.
Why are many people in the media saying that? Why are the people in the media saying that and you're hearing it amongst those who like to watch political news?
Because he's a focal point. He's something they can point to. He's the highest person in the land, and he's black.
He so happens to be black.
And he
A
should
Harvard grad, top of his class.
And he
all
shouldn't have
that.
been elected. It was a fluke.
It was a fluke.
I believe it was a fluke.
Rigged.
No, not rigged. Just got caught. He just came up with an incredible campaign.
He running behind George Bush didn't help.
And
It didn't hurt him.
And
A
George
war, a prolonged war, we're never going to
And
win.
the man
did
was
it?
brilliant, articulate, intelligent, smooth. He had a tremendous campaign, and people did not like what the Republican Party had done or what had happened with the war.
In the war, I think in particular.
People often spoke of Colin Powell. Oh, if Colin Powell ran, I would have voted for him. That's because he didn't run.
Yeah, right. That's right.
That's true, Rev. Why do I call you Rev all of a sudden?
I don't know.
That's
Call me Daddy, that's fine.
Because I like you.
Yeah.
I call somebody Rev. That's
It's
the
a
highest,
Rev like a preacher?
Yeah, that's the highest esteem you can get in black culture.
Reverend?
Call you Rev.
Doctor?
No, Rev's higher.
Rev's high? Okay, so...
Of course, they'll steal from you and screw your wife. But
That's right. Pass the plate again. They have a nice car.
and they'll fuck your wife to get a chance.
That is one of those words I can say.
What? Fuck your wife?
So, I guess, we've been in racial tension before in this country. The 60s were not exactly a pleasant time.
Right.
And if we go way back, 30s, 40s, I mean, there were lynchings and all these other kinds of things.
Correct.
Why is it? Or do you think race isn't unique to America?
No. I think what's unique to America, which is really...
Of course, you remember, I'm Scotch-Irish, right? I'm Scotch. And there would be people, there were signs up in the 30s that said, no Scots, Jews, or blacks need to apply. We were right in that crowd.
But they weren't lynching us.
They weren't what?
They weren't lynching Scots.
Well, after a generation, you can't tell who we are. We can still tell where you come from.
And they weren't lynching you. I have Italian friends, or Italian acquaintances, Polish acquaintances, German acquaintances. We all had a hard when we came here. But they didn't have what we had. They weren't lynched. They weren't tarred and feathered. They weren't raped and robbed. They weren't constantly being beat over the head.
How come I don't see this?
You don't see it because...
No, I don't see it in my life. Why don't I see this oppression in my life?
Because it's not part of your life.
I know two black people are in my cell phone. I go to a black church. I give money to black causes.
But you're unique, number one, and maybe number two, it's out of your own guilt.
Well, yeah.
This cigar don't smell too bad on you.
Oh, your cigar stinks.
Thank you. Did you hear that? He's a racist.
I didn't say you stink. I said your cigar
he
stinks.
hates black people with cigars.
Yeah.
No. What was it
Why
called?
don't people talk about? No. Why is it still here? Because they oppressed the Scots when they arrived.
It's still here because it's inherent. It's always been
It's
here.
a base nature.
It's
You
been
think
here.
it's in our basic DNA? Race is
Absolutely.
a part of our basic DNA.
Check history. Goes all the way back to the 1600s. And people
How
don't...
about when Cain killed Abel? Is there any difference? That guy's not like me. I'm going to kill him.
There's always been a form of racism.
I think what white people don't understand is that your life is different than mine in 1,000 different ways that I can't even understand, and I make an attempt to understand it. I want you to tell me why your life is markedly different than mine.
Because no matter...
Wait, no, let me finish. I had to go through school. I had to get into college. I had to compete for medical school. I competed to get in a very prestigious residency program. 1 out of 5. So I think it's 1 out of 10 to med school, 1 out of 5 to residency. These are very competitive events I've been through. Okay? And nothing's been easy. And I've been in law, I've been in business lawsuits, and I've been in this and in that. Why is your life so much harder than mine?
Because my blackness is with me 24/7.
What does that have to do with it?
When they're looking at me, before they see anything, before they think anything, they see black.
And what does that mean? What does that do?
If you just have which we all have, inherent prejudice and bigotry.
We all have bigotry in our souls.
Okay, but when you're looking dead in my face,
Yeah.
like you are right now,
Yeah.
if your inherent bigotry and racism is out of control, or you're just plain ignorant, the only thing you see and hear, only thing you can't hear it, the only thing you see is my black face. Nothing else. And that's the key. When I walk into a room, somebody says, "Where are you?"
It's my kid. Keep talking.
When I walk into a room, I could be the sharpest, the most intelligent.
Have all the paper that I had. All my paperwork.
Right. Let me give you an example. All the intelligence you have, all the training you have, all the education you have. If you were a black man, you walked into a room, before they saw all the paperwork, before they saw all the training, they see a black face first. And the first time you make a mistake, or the first time they have issues with themselves, guess who they're going to blame? You. And it's because it all goes back to fear. Because you're going to take some from them.
You take my white women.
That's part of it. That's a huge part of it.
Of course, it's misplaced, because it
It's
wasn't
misplaced
it
anger.
wasn't black men with white women. It was white men with black women.
But that was accepted.
Yeah, and it wasn't exactly consensual.
It wasn't consensual, and it wasn't out front either. For a long time, 2 o'clock in the morning, a white man would go look into the bar in my hometown, in the black bar, and find himself with a black woman, and he'd want to have it.
Yeah, absolutely.
But a black man doesn't go to a white bar and stand out there, get a white woman out there.
He better not.
'Cause you'll get killed.
He better not.
Exactly. but it's fear-based.
Which is ignorance? Or is it ignorance, or is it saying, I'm just not going to like that guy because I'm just not going to like that guy?
I'm going to like that guy because he's different.
I'm not going to like that guy because he's different.
Before he even starts. And then, if you happen to be a good one, he might like you. As long as nothing goes wrong.
You know, I was thinking about this whole Fox News because we had a dinner last night and I got a little agitated because people didn't exactly see things the way things I see them. But the question I had was, have I ever been a minority? Okay, have I ever been a minority? And I've come from a pretty privileged white part of the world. Well, I was a minority in New Orleans because the city of New Orleans is about 70% black, about 30% white. I was a minority in my place of work there because it was about 90% black and about 10% white. But I was still in charge. You know what I mean? I was in New Zealand. I was out of the country, but I was never, you couldn't really tell that I wasn't an American. You couldn't tell I wasn't Kiwi, just at a glance.
Because color is a surface thing. It's what you see.
That's what you see. Now, I was a minority in Africa, but I felt that they all looked up to me.
Because you were unique.
That's it. It wasn't a...
You were different. It's just like when I lived in England. I would walk down the street or I would be somewhere and I would talk to someone. And there'd be someone there and they would turn around and look. And I thought, oh, they're looking at me because I'm black. But they weren't initially. They were looking at me because I talked different.
Talk different.
But then when they saw I was black, then of course I was a black man with an American accent.
Right.
Which usually got the white women excited.
Yeah, that worked out okay. That worked out. You
Oh,
took one of our white women again.
I want one of them.
Again.
I want one of them.
Yeah.
In fact, I'll take two of them.
Yeah.
I had a nice time over here.
All right.
So where we go? But that's the key.
Well, hear about this. Racism is always present for me. And I told someone the other day, okay, racism usually rises because someone of color, for instance, might do something that harms me. And so I project that on the entire black race. Well, if I did that, I've had many more people who are white who look like me offend me and hurt me. I had to be more prejudiced against white people.
Because most white people have a predisposed opinion before you start.
So you're saying even before I have that interaction, I've got my mind made up.
Not necessarily made up, but you have...
That predilection, you're leaning that way.
Of course, he's a black man.
He's a black man.
When I tell people this, they get angry with me. I have a friend he's a multi-millionaire. He used to work with Ross Perot for many years. Filthy rich, sits at a cigar lounge. We used to sit down there and talk. I didn't realize how prejudiced he was until I started listening to him talking. And he had the audacity to tell me, you know what? You hate white people. And I looked at him, I said, really? I said, well, you hate black people.
Yeah, how'd that go?
So our relationship went all to shit. Because he didn't like what I said. But it was okay for him to accuse me.
He could say it, but you couldn't say it.
But the truth of the matter was, he invited Liz and I to his home for a meal. Now, first we invited him to ours. He was one of the few white people who came to our house and had a meal. Perfectly fine. And then we went to their house, one of the many houses on the beach, Vero Beach, had a meal. But then I started listening to him talk in the cigar lounge, and I realized, my God, he'd watch something on TV, and I thought it was black guys.
Just repeat what we heard on TV.
The comments that he'd make. He loved Fox News. But you're being inundated by negativity. And I still say, whatever way we go about this is, it's all inherent and it's fear-based.
How about this? It's always present, and you have to always be battling it.
Always.
It just never goes away.
When I walk in your office, they see a nice black man. Intelligent, funny.
Not about funny.
Very good communication skills. But they still see a black person.
So we ought to wear burqas?
Yeah. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Say it again.
When I walk into your office, they like me, or they are amused by me, or they're impressed with me, or they say, oh, he's intelligent. Oh, he's articulate. Wow. But at the same time, he's black. And they see the black. The whole time I'm talking, they still see the black.
That's a bad thing?
No, as long as you can separate that he's a black from any kind of negativity that you've developed towards black people. The problem is that's difficult because the negativity always overrides
Negative
the
always
positive.
wins the positive.
Absolutely.
So we take, yeah.
I mean, when I'm walking in Ingles, nicely dressed, better than most of them, smile, with or without Elizabeth. People look at me and I smile, and you can tell by the look on their face. Oh, he's black, but he seems nice.
Yeah. He's probably going to rip me off.
Where's my pocketbook?
Where's my pocketbook?
In the cigar lounge in Vero Beach, they have a back humidor where they keep all the cigars. Now, I have a box where I keep my cigars, and on there's it says The Duke. That's what they call me, Duke of Warwick from England. They have other boxes. I go back there, take a cigar out. The young guy that works there will follow me in there. Finally, I said one day, I said, do you really think I'm going to steal one of your cigars? Oh, no, I want to help you. I said, I don't need your help. I said, do you have any idea how insulting that is or how offensive that is when you follow me in there? And I told the owner that.
So you don't think he follows white people in?
Most of them, no. And then to make it worse, recently a black guy walked there and stole a box of cigars.
So all blacks are thieves.
They're all thieves.
They're all thieves.
The only thing that's going to save the day for us is generational. You've got to pass it on to your children. They got to pass it on to their children. It'll take another 3 generations. And by then, there won't be that many black people anyhow because of
I'll be
they'll be brown.
browned out.
Mike, I just became a great-grandfather the day before yesterday. And she's as white as you are.
Scandal in your family, isn't there?
Total scandal. And my grandchildren, you've seen them. They're
Yeah.
as white as could be. That's what's going to change it. The biggest problem...
But you're still black.
I'm still black.
They're still black.
They're still trying to figure out Jim Jr. what he is. They keep asking, what are you anyhow?
His
What are
son.
you?
His son.
Because he's got blue eyes.
Oh, they call it an octaloon. What's that called?
Beats the heck out of
Yeah,
him.
you know, octaloon. 1/8.
His mom was blue-eyed blonde, and I was the
Yeah.
father. He's got blue
You've been
eyes.
taking our white women for a long time.
Forbidden fruit.
Forbidden fruit.
Forbidden fruit. You know why I end up with white women? Because I'm in a white...
Because they don't have any sense.
That's part of it. No, the real reason is because I live in a white environment.
You're educated. You're
I'm
well-spoken.
I don't hang...
Do you own a business?
Yes.
Do you rob from people?
No.
Do you have a gun on you?
No. And the bottom line is, I come from a white world. There's no doubt about it. The only thing black about me is what I know.
And you face this still every day, some level of what you're going to call prejudice, which I don't even understand or see. You say you face it every day.
Every day. When I walk out this door on Crooked Creek Road, and I walk down my driveway at my $300,000 plus house, and I wave, those people say, oh, there's the black guy that lives there.
That's probably
I'm
true.
telling you.
What's the Malcolm X flag you got flying? That's
No.
what gives it away.
No, actually, it's the South African.
Oh, South Africa.
No, but it's true. That's what is very difficult for you to understand because you're an open-minded white person. But don't tell me that you don't notice a black person when you see one.
Well, he's black. How can I tell anything
Exactly.
He needs to wear one of those burqas.
And then if you have any kind of prejudice or stereotype or negativity towards black, as long as I don't threaten you in any way, it's cool.
It's cool.
But if I, some reason or other, clash with you about something,
All black, but you're going to bring in all that black stereotype and drop it right on your head.
and I'm going to tell you something. I can ride along in a car. I had this happen to me one day, and I laughed loud. I'm in my car, and I pull up to a stop sign, and it was 2 or 3 black guys on the corner.
Yeah?
You know what I did? I looked down to see if my door was locked.
You're a racist.
Yes, I am to an extent. Guess who
You
taught
mean
me?
black people can be racist?
Absolutely. There's no doubt. But a lot of their racism is based on anger, resentment, hurt, and back to the fear.
It's back to the fear.
It's all fear-based. I had a lecturer tell us one time. His name was Peter Bell. He was a top-notch lecturer at Betty Ford Center where I worked, and he was at a seminar at the Annenberg Center
So your black guys had a job.
in Palm Springs. 2 of them, me and another guy. In
You
Palm
didn't
Springs.
hear what I said.
Black guy had a job. And I said, yeah, me and another black guy. And he said the 3 isms that are fear-based: racism, sexism, and alcoholism. It's all about fear, doctor. All about fear. You're going to take our women. You're going to take our jobs. You're going to take our homes, and you're going to hurt us.
Right.
And
By and large, is that true?
of course not. We just want a piece of the pie.
A fair piece of the pie.
Fair piece of the pie. You know, when I was 14 years old in a little country town in upstate New York, 60 miles from New York City, I went for a job at the Grand Union. And I had my little white friend with me. And the guy gave us a test. He wasn't going to hire me anyhow. I got 100 on the test, a math test. Do you know what he said?
Good for a black guy.
No.
What?
The white guy took it for me.
Oh, did he really? Really?
I'm 71 years old. I've seen it all my life. Not just here. I've seen it in California, all over these states. I saw in England where I lived, but it was very subtle and covert, and they had more of a
It's everywhere. It's everywhere. It's in Africa. They don't like those guys over the hill. They're different than them. They can't stand them. I mean, how do they have a race riot essentially in Kenya? Hey, what's the difference between the Hutus and the Tutsis?
Fear.
They don't look quite like me, and I can group them up together.
Fear. I'm moving in this neighborhood.
We're locking our doors.
Suppose he brings drug people in here.
Probably will. You know, the first thing he told me was, if the house is on fire and you call the police, you make sure you tell them that a black guy lives here because I don't want to be shot.
And that's true.
That's a fact.
Second, if my wife, who I love dearly, who's white, was to call the police and say he hit me, she wouldn't have to have a mark on her. Guess where I'm going?
Pokey.
Jail.